Zack Snyder has long been one of Hollywood's most divisive filmmakers, praised by some as a visual visionary and dismissed by others as style over substance. Long before he became synonymous with the DC Extended Universe through Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, Snyder delivered one of the boldest comic book adaptations ever attempted, Watchmen, 2009. Adapted from Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons' groundbreaking 1986 graphic novel, Watchmen was a daring, uncompromising film that arrived before the world was ready for it. Now streaming free on Tubi and also available on Max and Hulu, Snyder's neo-noir superhero epic is finally getting the appreciation it always deserved, even if its 64% Rotten Tomatoes score still feels criminally low. A comic book film that refused to conform, Watchmen stands apart from nearly every superhero movie of its era. Where most adaptations loosely drew inspiration from comics, Snyder's film replicated entire scenes and dialogue directly from Moore's text, creating a cinematic experience that feels both mythic and deeply unsettling. The story unfolds in an alternate 1980s America where masked vigilantes have been outlawed and the Cold War teeters on the edge of nuclear catastrophe. When one of their own, the comedian, is mysteriously murdered, the unhinged antihero Rorschach begins uncovering a vast conspiracy that implicates the world's only real superhuman, Dr. Manhattan. Much like Snyder's 300, Watchmen mirrored its source material with precision and reverence. Yet, despite the meticulous adaptation, the film struggled to find an audience upon release. In 2009, moviegoers were just beginning to embrace the bright optimism of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Snyder's grim, complex, and morally ambiguous superhero deconstruction felt alien in comparison. 15 years later, that same darkness now feels refreshing, even prophetic, in a landscape flooded with formulaic capes and quips. The change that divided fans still makes sense. The most controversial alteration from the comic was the removal of the infamous alien squid. In the original story, Ozymandias stages an interdimensional monster attack to unite humanity. Snyder instead reframed the event, having Ozymandias blame the devastation on Dr. Manhattan. At the time, purists balked at the omission, but the change works perfectly within the film's logic. Dr. Manhattan's immense power already symbolizes humanity's fear of the unknown. Turning him into the scapegoat feels natural, and even thematically tighter. The adjustment also made the film's ending more accessible without diluting Moore's moral complexity. Why Watchmen feels more relevant than ever. Revisiting Watchmen today reveals a film that aged far better than its initial reviews suggested. Its themes of authoritarianism, media manipulation, and disillusionment with heroism are eerily prescient in 2025's cultural climate. Unlike modern superhero films built around massive CGI finales and simplistic morality, Watchmen thrives in ambiguity. It's a character study disguised as a comic book spectacle, part political thriller, part philosophical nightmare. The film's haunting atmosphere, amplified by its Cold War setting and its brutal realism, feels closer to Blade Runner than The Avengers. The film's visual language also remains stunning. Snyder's meticulous use of framing and slow motion, combined with Larry Fong's somber cinematography, evokes the feeling of a living comic panel, grim, poetic, and operatic. Re-evaluation and redemption. In recent years, Watchmen has been rediscovered by both critics and fans who once dismissed it. Many now view it as the best expression of the dark, deconstructive tone Snyder would later pursue in the DCU. Only here, his themes of godhood, morality, and corruption feel fully realized. Its reappraisal has also been bolstered by HBO's 2019 Watchmen series, which reintroduced audiences to Moore's world while paying homage to Snyder's visual influence. Together, they've cemented Watchmen's legacy as one of the most fascinating and misunderstood comic book adaptations ever made. Where to watch? For those who've never seen Watchmen, or those ready to give it a second chance, the film is currently streaming for free on Tubi. It's also available on Max and Hulu, making it more accessible than ever. A decade and a half after its release, Zack Snyder's Watchmen finally stands as what it always was, not just a superhero film, but a haunting reflection of humanity's obsession with power, control, and fear. One that feels more essential now than when it first hit theaters.